Well, I don't usually do poems back to back 2 days in a row like this, but I just figured out today is the 5th anniversary of a good friend of mine passing away, Bruce Lord. And I wrote this poem for his funeral. And it's for Tanya and Kurt and Brandon. And they've been like family to me for 30 years. And it's a tribute. Bruce, one of them old cowboys that, kind of deserve a tribute. There's a bunch of them out there, but I happen to be close to him, so I wrote this, so I'm going to tell it. I call it My Friend. Well, you've heard of men of the cowboy way that just don't have any fear. They don't turn back to face the danger, seldom shed a tear. They tie the ropes to the saddle horn, no regard for life or limb. Catch wild cattle on the rocky slopes on nothing but a whim. A man who would ride all day on a horse and have the devil in his eyes. Miles from home on trails unknown as if he didn't realize. Summer sun, about 1:45, sweat, brush, and dirt. Throat as dry as a panther's cry, and every muscle hurts. They don't quit till they're done. It ain't always fun, but it's where they want to be. It's hard to explain or capture. You just have to be there to see. Well, Bruce Lord was one of these few men whose heart was steady and true. If he's your friend and you needed help, well, there's nothing he wouldn't do. From the Missouri breaks of Montana to the dogging at Old Cheyenne, no matter what the job was, Bruce always made a hand. Bruce was raised a cowboy. It's all he ever wanted to do. And a man named Junior Eskew helped him to see it through. Day after day in the practice pen, making it through the pain. Work all day and saddle the dogging horses in the heat, cold, or rain. Soon to hit the rodeo trail, just Bruce and his young bride. Living a dream 1 mile at a time with Tanya by his side. From the little shows in Texas to the granddaddy of them all, them miles they made were precious memories, none of them were small. Then fatherhood caught up with Bruce and he quit the rodeo trail. Decided to get gentle and let go of the tiger's tail. Bruce and Tanya raised 2 sons, named them Brandon and Kurt. They had heard that raising boys was hard, but they didn't know it was going to be that much work. Well, they raised them up around cowboys, taught them how to rope and ride. They taught them respect and love and hope. Taught them how to have pride. Excuse me here. Well, he was that kind of father. He was that kind of man. He was full of try and love and muscle, and Bruce was full of sand. Bruce could ride a pitching horse, just didn't bother him much. Or he'd crawl under your wore-out pickup, put you in a new clutch. Bruce could go out in the rocks and catch a diamondback. He could rope the wildest cow in Arbuckle, just knocking out her tracks. Bruce would shoe any horse brought to him, wild, gentle, or tame. Standing up or tied flat down, it all paid the same. Well, we was way up in Montana. Bruce might have been past his prime. He was riding a big, stout Benyon bronc. I remember the time. Some cattle had run off the day before, like cattle sometimes do. It seems they didn't like the gait that we was trying to push them through. Now, the roan that Bruce was riding had never had a cow tied to the horn, even though it had been 6 long years since the day that he was born. It didn't bother Bruce at all what we had to do that day. Knowing we had to rope all morning, he caught the roan anyway. Well, me and Bruce paired off that morning and jumped a yearling steer. Well, I spurred my bronc within 2 jumps and cast my twine in the air. As luck would have it, I jerked my slack and had beef on the line. It was the first one I ever caught on Old Flash, and I was feeling fine. Now, I knew Bruce, he's same as me, and tied his rope off tight. He'd lay a trip right on by, take out some of the fight. But I was hoping, since Bruce and me were both on horses not quite tame, that I would rope the front end of this steer, and on the back end, he would do the same. But Bruce, he rode old Roney up to that jumping steer, and he stuck the prettiest loop you've seen right behind his speckled ears. He then jerked out all the slack and stepped off to the ground. He let out one hell of a laugh and watched me go round and round. Well, I finally got the steer choked down with Roney on the other end. Bruce walks up, takes his rope off, sporting a big wide grin. He said, I wasn't sure how Roney would take the first one caught on him today, but after watching y'all a while, I think he'll be okay. That's when my friend rode off that day, looking for another steer. And when I think about him and I shed so many tears, that's the way I'll remember Bruce from now on through the years. A cowboy with a ready loop, looking for another steer.